Let me share my screen. So as much as possible, I will make this session comprehensive enough siguro sa inyo, ha? Kay I will not really promise that I can take up everything. Kay social studies major or social studies is a very broad area. Okay, so we have history. If we include history, we will have Philippines context, we have Asian, and we have world, and we have also trends and issues. We will be having I'm sorry for the background. Okay, so it's okay. So I will be discussing it one by one. Kadit lang ha kay kuan kanang mura ko ma I'm sorry. Disturb kayo kanina. Okay, again, so as I have said a while ago, social studies subject is a very broad subject. It encompasses a lot of topics, diba? It's the same with PLE nga daghan kayo components, and it's very hard to predict what will be the possible concepts and topics will be provided by the PRC as their questions. So that's the use of kanang that's the advantage of checking first the table of specification before doing your study. Okay, everything must be aligned to the table of specification, especially that you are taking on a new curriculum, under mo sa new curriculum nga kanang board examinations. There will be a lot of changes in the set of questions, but sa ato ang subject or sa majorship wala makayo changes sa K-12 kay naaman mostly sa general education. So let's just hope for the best na most of these questions that I will be discussing tonight is are questions that somehow came out from the previous examinations under sa ato ang major. So I hope it will be a great help for you to give you an idea what will be kay this is not an assurance ha nga these are the exact questions that will come out during the examination, but at least you will have an idea on what are the possible questions. Okay, possible questions. So that napamoy 1 week, and somehow you can focus this time your mind on the majorship kay the secondary mubira gyud ang majorship sa inyong overall rating or sa inyong average grade or average rate. So majorship or major is equivalent to your professional education. So if imo ka siyang i-take for granted, possible nga mo'y kahagbungan nimo. Okay, so but palayo lang na. Okay, so I will is my screen visible on your part? Visible akong screen, everyone? Hello?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, yes. Okay. So here. So majorship in social studies. Okay, so but I would just like to kanang share also my experience, no, because during my time nawani sa kunahuna ang majorship. I have focused more on professional education and general education. That's why it's it's visible on my rating. Akong general ed is 92 and my prof ed is 87 or 88 and my major is just only 84. So imagine if I had given much more attention to my major, maybe mas nitaas pa unta siya. So lisod magug kaayo i-study or mangita og kanang concepts on where to start sa ato ang major kay tungod lagi sa ka-broad niya. So that's why I'm correcting my past mistake on your batch. Okay? So let's tackle things. So mo pud akong sayop sa una, I didn't check the TOS. Okay? That is released by that is released by the PRC every before the kanang examination. So naginay TOS pila ka number of items ilang kuhaon ani nga component. So naa gyud na siya specified na dito. So you will have an idea ug asa ka nga component mas mohatag og importansya. Okay? So we will check the enhanced since you will be taking under a new curriculum. So the title of this TOS is Enhanced Table of Specification in Social Studies Major of Social Studies Majors. So I will share it to you. So here. Here it is. So I got this from the PRC official website. Okay, so we have 3 categories. We have the easy, the moderate, and the difficult. So easy is composed of 30% of the overall number of the number of questions. The moderate is 50 and difficult is just 20%. So the number of items, so maybe there are only 1 or 2 under the difficult. So on the first component of social studies, we have this one, the trends and issues in social studies. And don't worry, in my questions later, each question that I will share to you is classified according to the components. Okay, kay para makahibaw mo if unsa nga klase or asa nga component under kanina question. Para if you will do your own review, your self-review, and check some questions online, you can identify it on what component. Okay, kay dili baya equal ang percentage sa every component. Naagi component diri nga bugat, okay, or mas gihatagan og importansya sa PRC. So here in the first component, which is the trends and issues in social studies, the number of items is it is just composed of 10%, okay, of the total percentage out of 100, and the 10% is equivalent to 15 number of items. So there are only 15 items that is under trends and issues in social studies. So under EC, there are 1 for remember and understand. If you remember the Bloom's taxonomy, okay, so remembering, understanding, application, analyzing, evaluation, and create. So gi-classify po na siya according sa Bloom's taxonomy ang mga question. So the lowest thinking skill is the remembering. So there is only 1, understanding 1, application is 9 items for the trends and issues in social studies, analyzation is 2, evaluation is 1, and create is 1. Okay, but all of these are in a multiple choice format. Okay, so what are the possible concepts of, or what possible questions may come out under the trends and issues in social studies? It must be aligned on this criteria. First, it will examine forces that shape contemporary trends and issues. Second is it will discuss current issues in local and global society. Mobito nang moingon sila nga dapat daw updated ka sa mga recent ka panghitabo sa palibot. So dapat more on news reading ka if talite ka og board exam, kay there are really things that will come out from the recent activities in our society, okay, or recent happenings and global society, including sustainable development and poverty, use of alternative energy, equitable justice for all, human and LGBT rights, nuclear disarmament for peace, global pandemic, etc. So those are the criteria, or those are the specification under trends and issues in social studies. We have also geography. Okay, so geography is 15% out of 100 percentage of social studies majors. So there are a total of 150 items. Okay, so out of 150, 22 items is all about geography. Okay, so application of geography is composed of 13 items. So gibahin-bahin na ang 22 according to their classification under Bloom's taxonomy. So what will be the specification under geography? Here, geographical places and landscape in a changing world. So first, demonstrate understanding of basic geographical concepts. Okay, basic geographical concepts, processes, and patterns. The next is relate the significance of geography to the diverse social, cultural, economic, and political development of nations. And next is illustrate the geographic character and natural resources of the various regions of the Philippines and their impact on the region's development. So, back to the basic. If you think geography, you must be familiar with the regions of the Philippines. Okay? So, kailangan na memorize na ninyo at bisag ang ilahalang titles. Okay? You know what region do our province or this island that we are living belong to. Okay? Dapat familiar mo ana. Okay? So you must be familiar with the basic concepts of geography, locally and globally. Okay, so those are the basic nga dapat hibaw gyud ta. Okay, so next is economics. So we will be talking about microeconomics and economic planning. So out of 150 items, 15 items will be about economics. So what will be under the economics? So analyze theories and models of economic growth and development. So katong mga models of kanang economic flow, okay? Kay if we will be talking about basics sa kuan man ni nato sa pag high school. All right? Bisan pa og wala gid mo ka-take og social studies nga major during the college, kay mostly man gud sa social studies kay mga DPE if ako masayop, so wala gid sila mag-specialize ani nga major, but since CPRC naman ang magbuot ang mo-align sa imong major inigtake ng sa board exam, so social studies ang ihatag kay reality social studies majors is gamay ra gyud kay population. So mga sa social studies gyud ihansak ang kaning mga DPE, gamay tayo ang i-pursue ang nga major kay siguro kapuyan sila. Okay, so what will be under the economics? So we will be it is analysis or analyze theories and models of economic growth and development, demonstrate understanding of the basic concepts, okay? Basic yun na siya ha. Basic concepts and principles of economics, including the nature and functions of economic systems. So apply economic concepts such as supply and demand, scarcity, diminishing, marginal utility, income effect, etc. to current economic conditions. Then examine issues and problems related to development such as unemployment and poverty, global trade, underdevelopment, etc. and explore alternative issues. Then lastly, apply economic planning principles in the formulation of development or business venture. So there will be a total of 15 items out of 150 for economics. Then history. So we have world history, Asian studies. Okay, so we have two. So kay ang Philippine history man gid ay is naa na siya present sa general education. So naa na didto gibawi ang Philippine history. So here history ari sa social studies majors is for world history and Asian studies. Okay, Philippines is part of the world, so there are times nga gid gapon ang Philippine history. Okay, so we have 15 items out of 150, 10% man siya sa 150. So, world history, it includes the ancient history, katong the prehistoric, okay, katong mga Stone Age, or if you remember, the Metal Age, so the medieval period, the Renaissance period, the modern, and the contemporary period. So, those compose the world history and the happenings between those periods. Important, okay? Ato larohon, important events na na-highlight between those periods. And if you talk about world history alone, dako nagig ka siya scope. Okay? So, but there are somehow concepts nga suki ni PRC if we talk about world history. So mao na ang ako ang ginit question sa ato ang session karon. Okay? So explain the basic concept of societies and civilization to the emergence of rise of kingdom, formation of states, etc. from prehistory up to 8th century. So, show understanding of a global overview to various human experiences, patterns of development, and connections among people, societies, and nations in modern world to contemporary periods. And Asian studies, so it's all about the Asian continent alone. Okay? So, the history in Asia, mostly kaning China, okay? Philippines, kaning mga southwest countries, south region of Asia, which is India. So, ana sila, manggawas na sila. Okay, so examine the political, economic, and cultural issues and problems in contemporary Asian societies as influenced by global realities. The next is the socio-cultural, si E. So, imagine pila ka components ng social studies. So, socio-cultural anthropology. So, it's one of the majors nga among gikuha during our college. So, munang appeal po siya. So, basic sociological and anthropological concepts and theories. So, muna siya diha ha, manifest an understanding of basic sociological and anthropological concepts and theories. So, trace the origin and development of human beings, societies, and civilizations. If you're familiar with Charles Darwin, the natural selection, common nga phrase nga survival of the fittest. So it's under sociocultural anthropology. So explain factors, differences of human groups and societies. And stable. So analyze how social phenomenon relates to class, ethnicity, ideology, power, and social change. Then determine elements of Filipino culture that support or inhibit nation building. The next is governance, laws, and politics. So naapod gid ni siya. So comparative government and politics and law-related studies. So there will be laws, kay di man ta mga law students. Okay? So basic knowledge about the governance, the laws and politics here in our nation, and the relate that to other nations around the globe. Okay, so discuss concepts and principles of government and advent of citizenship. So manifest. So you must be familiar, under this is you must be familiar with the 1987 Constitution, the evolution of our Constitution from the very first Constitution, which is if I'm not mistaken, the Malolos, and the present, which is we are using right now, the 1987. You must be familiar with the evolution and familiar with the articles under the 1987 Constitution. Okay, especially the article that talks about education, that talks about the human rights or Bill of Rights. So you must be familiar with it kay mo nay kanang suki kaayo ni PRC nga part sa Constitution. Okay? So manifest understanding of basic laws na here. Family law, human rights, public accountability, consumer law, civil and criminal law applied at home, in the community, and workplace. So describe political conditions of selected countries. So we will be also talking about the governance, laws, and politics of the other countries. Okay, basic na po, which is related to our kanang system here or government system here in our country. So next is, and I think this will be the last component, the teaching approaches to social studies in elementary and secondary grades. So social studies in the K-12 curriculum. Okay, so you must be familiar with the K-12 curriculum alone. Okay, so what are the elements of the K-12? Kung sa may mga nahitabo nga changes ni social studies under the K-12 curriculum. Okay, so what are the new discoveries or the new applied approaches and strategies or techniques in teaching the social studies in the classroom under the K-12 curriculum. Okay, so that's all. Those are the napagidi ay usa. I'm sorry. So we have napagi last, which is research. So it is part, and if you observe, the biggest portion of the number of items is the socio-cultural anthropology, which composed of 30 items out of 150 items under majorship of social studies. Next to that is the research, which is 23 items. So you must go back to the basic concepts of research. Okay, so different types of research. It's okay kay we will be talking some of the suki nga concepts of research ni PRC. So we will be talking with that later on when we start discussing the questions na. Okay, so those are the components under social studies. So I think we have 5, 6, 7, 8 components all in all. Okay, so a total of 150 items. So kato siya nga mga components, gibahin-bahin to nila og ginani pagbahin-bahin ang number of items. So next Sunday, so approve na ninyo if sakto ba pagkabahin-bahin, if makabantay pa mo og asa a research, but we will see to it that you will be 98% or 99.9% ready to face the major shift. Okay, but again, the questions that will come out tonight is not an assurance that this will be the exact same questions that you will be answering this March 19. Okay, so these questions, or disclaimer lang yun niya. So these following questions will be just your guide and will give you idea on what are the possible questions that will come out. Okay, so are you ready? Ready na ta? Nakasunod ra mo sa ako, Hello?
Ma'am.
Yes. So just tell me if paspas ko, ha. Okay, just tell me if paspas ko. Kay we have limited time ang good, and basin niya og di na to ma-take up ang question, sayang kaayo. Kay dako na kay gini siyang tabang sa inyo, ha. Okay, so as I have said, tagaay gyud taon og importansya ang major kay just like proof ed, it is equivalent to 40% of the total average. So dako jud kaayo siya. o bira if ever mahagbong lang mo sa major ship, nag 1990 mo sa Gen Ed, pero nag 60 mo sa major ship, so dako jud kay siya biras, and there will be possibility nga moray makakos nganong di ta makapasa. Okay, so please give importance to your major or to the social studies major. Okay, so let's start. So I will be showing now the first question. Okay, so first question is all about history. Okay, so I want to hear your answers. Okay, this is a drill also, a practice. Okay, so the most important contribution of the Phoenicians to civilization is blank. Is it A, alphabet, B, Tyrian dye and wood, C, trading, or D, shipbuilding? So what do you think?
Alphabet, ma'am.
Alphabet, yes. According to Ma'am, sige name ni mo, Ma'am.
Lloydie, ma'am.
Ma'am Lloydie. Okay, so according to Ma'am Lloydie, it is alphabet. Phoenicians are known for their contribution, which is alphabet. How about the others? Do you have idea? Or do you disagree with Ma'am Lloydie's answer? Or you have same answer with Ma'am Lloydie? Hinay din siya. Okay. Sige. So the answer is alphabet. Okay, so Phoenicians are known for their alphabets. Okay, so shipbuildings are for Greeks and Romans, because shipbuildings before, if you are familiar with the kanang European history, countries are really fond of kanang conquering other territories, okay, around the world. So for Greeks and Romans, it is used for their wars and for transferring goods from one place to another. Okay, so Phoenicians is to alphabet. Okay, so don't forget that one. Phoenicians is to alphabet. So next question is all about geography here. Nako gibutang diri sa ubos. If unsa siya nga component sa social studies under. Okay? So here, which country is not part of Southeast Asia? Is it A, Indonesia, B, Philippines, C, Thailand, or D, Japan?
Japan,
South
ma'am.
Japan.
Asia. Huh?
Japan, letter D.
Yes, the answer is Japan. Which region of Asia di ay nabilong si Japan?
East Asia.
Yes, very good. So Japan belongs to East Asia together with China, North and South Korea. Okay, so sila nang ubana dito sa East Asia or sa silangang Asia. So I want to share this. Okay, nara. Mauni siya ang Asian map. Okay. So this is the East Asia here. We have China, North and South Korea, Japan. And somehow, if I'm not mistaken, Taiwan. But Taiwan is considered as a province of China mampod. Then South Asia here, pila ganito, Southeast Asia, I mean. Pila ganito ka countries ang naa sa Southeast Asia?
11.
We have 11. Very good. So starting from here, kani siya diri pana. Okay? So starting from Bhutan, Myanmar, Laos, Thailand, Vietnam, Cambodia, Malaysia. No, not Bhutan. Myanmar, Laos, Thailand, Cambodia, Vietnam, Malaysia, Brunei, Philippines, Indonesia below. Bhutan is in the South Asia together with Nepal, Bangladesh, and India, Sri Lanka, and Maldives. Okay, that is for South Asia. Ang Bhutan, I'm sorry. So this is the Southeast Asia here, the 11 countries of Southeast Asia. These are the Southwest Asia here, okay, the South. And these are the North Asia here, or Hilagang Asia, okay. So these are the regions of Asia, okay. So I-familiarize unya na, ha? Okay. So, okay, next question. Geography again. So why is it that despite the richness of Southeast Asia, when it comes to its natural resources, the countries which belong here has still slow economic progress compared to the countries in Europe and America?
Letter
Is it
C.
a letter C? Okay, paspasan ni Sir. Oy. Sige. The region has a
Sorry.
hot climate. Oh, I will read the choices for the benefit of everyone. Okay. So the region has a hot climate not fit for employment. People do not have innate intelligence and ability to put up industries. The region is experiencing calamities such as typhoons, tsunamis, and earthquakes, which destroy crops and industries. Or letter D, people do not have the ability to exploit natural resources and to put up industries. So Sir Andre answered letter C. How about the others? There's a chat box here. Di makita ang map. Oh, di makita ang map kanina. I'm sorry. Okay, so Sir Andre answered letter C. How about the others? Do you agree with Sir Andre?
Same answer, ma'am.
Yes, because it is the correct answer too. So the region
Okay.
is experiencing calamities such as typhoons, tsunamis, and earthquakes, which destroy crops and industries. Because as you can see, the geographical location of mostly Southeast Asian countries is really facing the Pacific Ocean, and most of the Southeast Asian country belong to the, ano sa ganito? Pacific Ring of Fire. Yes, Pacific Ring of Fire, in which kana siya nga location suki kay na sa kaning mga calamities, typhoons, tsunamis, and earthquakes. Yes, okay, very good. Okay, the answer is right. Okay, next question, number 4. This is still geography. Which is the primary resources found in Southwest Asia, like Bahrain, Saudi Arabia, Jordan, and Kuwait? Is it A, olive oil and cement, B, oil and gas, C, barley, D, sheep and camel? Again,
B.
resources, primary
gas.
resources. Or not.
Mabati ako.
Yes, ma'am, mabati.
And Southwest Asia is really known for these resources. Yes, ma'am. What's your answer?
Letter D, it's
D.
oil and gas.
B.
Okay.
Oil and gas.
Oil and gas, according to Hamurabi. How
Same
about the
answer, ma'am.
others?
Letter B.
Okay. Sige, basin. Same answer. Okay, so the answer is, the answer is letter B. Okay, so oil and gas. And if you heard ang kaning mga countries in Southeast Asia, they are very abundant, ug maupod ni ang reason nga nung sila ang usa sa pinaka dato nga countries here in Asia because of this natural resources that can be found there in their countries. Okay, so usa ni sila sa mga big suppliers of oil and gas in the world. So mo bitaw to nga if magka-problema ni sila in terms of terrorism, so dako jud ka siya effect sa supply sa gas sa tibuok kalibutan. Kaya as I have said, they are one of the biggest suppliers of oil and gas in the world. Okay, so oil and gas. Next question. Okay, economics. All right, so here, almost 1/2 of the world's population is found in Asia. Okay, almost 1/2. So yun, anak kadako ang population sa Asia kay the two highest populated country in the world is in Asia, which is China and India. Okay, it is the two highest populated countries in the world. So naagi siya sa Asia. So almost 1/2 of the world's population is found in Asia. So what is the implication of this information to the continent's economic status? So is it A, need for employment and food in Asia is greater than the other continents in the world? B, people in Asia have more ability to create ideas, and products than the other continents in the world. C, the increase of population in Asia is the key to the industrialization of the continent. Or D, continents in Asia have high per capita income. Then go back to the question. What is the question? The question is, what is the implication of this information to the continent's economic status? So we are focusing on the economic status. Okay, what's the relation of the population to the economic status, to the continent's economic status? Asa man din na sa choices ang naghisgot og relation sa economic status sa usa ka lugar.
D, ma'am.
Letter
D.
D.
Letter D, very good. So letter D is the only choice there nga naghisgot nga ning directly answer sa question. Okay? So always go back to the question. Ayaw mo pagpada sa kanindot sa question, ay sa kanindot sa choices. Okay? Always go back to the question. Unsa may gipangita sa question? Ang gipangita sa fifth question is, what's the relation of the population, or what's the implication of Asia's population to the economic status? So usa ra man ka choice din ang naghisgot og economic status. So it's letter D only. So continents in Asia have high per capita income. Okay? And aside from that, the question is asking for a factual, okay? If may kag social studies man god, you are giving facts. Okay, you will be answering in facts. You will not be answering based on your opinion. Okay, kay research based man gani ni ato ang kanang major or ang kaning subject ka. So we have to give factual based answers. Okay, and out of 4 choices there, it's only letter D that can give you facts, or that can support facts to this answer. Kay if you observe, letter A is, okay, so the answer is letter D. Kay nga naman, letter A is an opinion. Okay? Need for employment, who said that? Is there naabay basis? Diba? Wala. O siya gisulti nga basis din ha. Ingon ra siya nga need for employment and food. So what will be the basis? Is there any data nga gishow to support that answer for letter A? Wala. Diba? So letter B, people in Asia have more ability to create ideas. How about the other continents? People in the other continents, what is sila ability to create better ideas and products? Diba? So it's still an opinion. And letter C is still an opinion. The increase of population in Asia is the key. So it's the only key daw, or is it only population nga ang mahimong key to industrialize the continent? So all these 3 choices here are based on opinion, and it's only letter D that is fact-based or factual. Okay, so that's why letter D ang atong answer. Okay, so number 6. So still economics. So what is the socio-economic factor where man must fit into cities, which is the center of communication, trade, and culture? So what do you call this kanang process in which mindset nga ang man must go to the cities, okay? To have better opportunities. Ito dito ang center of communication, dito ang trade and culture. Nganong ang mga taga-probinsya manglangyaw man gid adto sa syudad. What do you call that process? Is it A, industrialization, B, urbanization, B, assimilation, C, urbanization, or D, modernization?
C, ma'am.
Ha?
C, urbanization akong answer, ma'am.
C, urbanization. How about the others? You can, if your audio is not functioning well, you can use the chat box. Okay. Ma'am Lloydie have answered letter C. How about the others? Okay, so the answer is letter. The answer is letter C, urbanization. Okay, so how about industrialization? What is that? So, ang ako lang, maklaro ba na siya, no? Alam ko yung link. Hindi ko siya press. Ako yung link. Naman na siya. Sa Hindi na open ang akong link. Okay, so industrialization is somehow kanang from traditional, okay, to kanang mga factories, okay, buildings. So making, or for example, kanang programs and projects, kanang build. So that is somehow katong build programs ato ang former President Rodrigo Duterte, somehow a relation to the industrialization of the Philippines. Okay, so modernization, so changing conventional things to modern. For example, kaning pinaka recent karon kaning modernization program of
Jeepney.
kanang mga jeepneys, di ba? So dapat familiar mo ana ha kay basin mo gawas na siya. So kana nga issue kay mo na pinakadungog karon. So the modernization of jeepneys. So it belong here on the modernization nga kanang process or a socio-economic process. Okay? So next is hindi mo ni ma-click ako ang options. Okay, how about that one? Makita ninyo ang meaning sa industrialization?
Wala.
Wala, ma'am.
Wala, ma'am.
Ano naman?
Sure.
Basta mag-link, dili din siya ma-share, no? Link ako ba? Hyperlink, I mean. So may mga IP. So di siya makita. Sige, ako na lang basahon, ha? Sayang, nag-prepare ang takong nindot ng PPT. Okay, so industrialization, it is the process of transforming the economy of a nation or region from a focus on agriculture. Okay, so mo to nga from kaumahan to subdivisions, okay, factories, mga roads. So those are part of the industrialization nga kanang process or socio-economic process. Okay, then we have assimilation. What is assimilation? So this is the process of becoming similar to others by taking in and using their customs and culture. For example, the assimilation of immigrants into American culture. Kita, if mo transfer ta dito sa laing country, or if we tend to use their culture, to apply their culture, yes, to adopt on the place, so that is the process of assimilation. Okay, so next is we have again the modernization. Sayang ay di mo pakita. So refers to the transitional process of moving from traditional or primitive to modern society. So mauto nga ang pangan sa katong pag-change into kanang modern nga mga jeepneys modernization program. Kay gikan sa mga traditional jeepneys nga kato atong naandan na jeepney, so gi-change nila og sa kanang bag-o karon. Okay, so kaso lang ang issue din ha is not the transition process alone, but also money related and government financial support. Kay it costs a lot of money, and ang ato ang mga jeepney drivers dili man na sila mga elite sa toang society. So most of them belong to the below average nga family status, or nga mga naagid sa ubos, mga nasa laylayan ya pabayron pa gyud og 1.5, range from 1.5 to 2.8 million each unit of jeep, modernized jeep. So where will they get the money? Kay ang highest nga subsidy sa government is only up to 360,000 only. Kung asa man sila magkuha sa kanang mahibilin nga amount. Okay, so ingon ana, and it is compulsory pag yun. So that's the issue there. So you must be familiar with that one. Okay, so next, number 7, history. So this is the period or age where man started to hunt and domes. Is it A, Paleolithic, B, Mesolithic, C, Neolithic, or D, Metal Age, Stone Age? What do you think? To hunt, started to hunt. Naghunting na sila. And somehow they live on domes or caves. What do you think?
Paleolithic age, hunting.
Nahini answer of Mesolithic. The others answered Paleolithic. So the right answer is?
Yes, Paleolithic age.
The right answer is? Okay, the answer is Paleolithic age, okay? Or in other words, Paleolithic age is Old Stone Age, okay? So it is where the human beings at that time started to hunt, kay na naman sila mga unpolished nga mga stone nga mga gamit, okay? Dili ka gid siya ingon anak ka perfect, but at least they can already utilize it for hunting, okay? Or for their survival. So they have already started using stone tools, but not that polished yet. Okay, mo na sa Paleolithic age, or known as the Old Stone Age. So it is between 2.5 million to 2.5 million years ago to 10,000 BC. So early humans lived in caves or domes, or simple huts or teepees, and were hunters and gatherers. So they used basic stone and bone tools, as well as crude stone axes for hunting birds and wild animals. So other term for Paleolithic period or Paleolithic age is Old Stone Age. How about Mesolithic? So from the word meso, it is in between. Okay, so asa man siya in between the Paleolithic and the Neolithic. So most of the kanang advances that are discovered in the Neolithic somehow undergone their evolution under the Mesolithic age. Okay, so the exact beginning of this part of the Stone Age varies from region to region. So depende sa region ang pagsunod sa Mesolithic age. So but it generally correlates with the warming of the climate in Northern Europe, ang Mesolithic. So ang Neolithic age somehow is from the word neo or new. So it is characterized by the beginning of a settled human lifestyle. Okay? So from hunting and transferring from one cave to another, so they have learned to domesticate animals. Okay? Kanang nabuhi na sila hayop instead of hunting them. And they have already kanang learned how to cultivate plants. They have learned how to grow their own food. So from then, they have started to settle in one place. Okay, so mo ng Neolithic period. And the Metal Age is divided into 3 divisions, which is the copper, the bronze, and the iron. So during the Metal Age, people made a variety of metal objects. So they also invented new techniques for making clay pottery, and they have discovered a lot of metal tools that somehow until now we're using. Okay, so next is history again. So the most beautiful burial place in the world, which is found in Agra, India, and built by Shah Jahan for her wife Mumtaz Mahal. Sige, what's the answer?
B, ma'am, Taj Mahal.
Yes. Okay. The answer is Taj Mahal. So, walay laing answer no kay nanagid sa question ang answer. So, the Taj Mahal. So, it is a mausoleo, kanang mausoleo nga gi-offer or gipabuhat gyud ning Shah Jahan in memory of his wife. Kay yung anak niya ka-love yung wife. And somehow dito ra pud siya gilubong pagkamatay niya. How about Angkor Wat? So Angkor Wat, it is a temple complex in Cambodia. Okay, Angkor Wat, that is in Cambodia. So it holds the Guinness World Records, considered as the largest religious structure in the world. Okay, ang Angkor Wat sa Cambodia, it holds the Guinness World Records na largest religious structure in the world. So mo na ang Angkor Wat. Ang pagoda. Pagoda, it is an East Asian tiered tower with multiple tiers. Okay, so most pagodas were built to have a religious function, most often Buddhist, but sometimes Taoist, and were often located in or near viharas. So pagodas can be found in countries, it is common in countries of Nepal, China, Japan, Korea, Myanmar, Vietnam, and other parts of Asia, which is having Buddhism as one of the religion. Okay, because it's a Buddhist temple. Dayon, Dome of Rock or Dome of the Rock. So it is a Muslim or an Islam religious structure. Okay, so it is a shrine for pilgrims. So it is a religious structure not for worship, but it is for visitors or pilgrimage. So that's the function of Dome of the Rock. So yeah, that's it. So the answer here is Taj Mahal. All right. Next is geography. So which of the following rivers is not found in Asia? Nasa diha.
B, ma'am.
Ha?
Letter B, Mississippi.
Yes. So, walay laing answer. Kay kana tanang countries din bisan pag wala ka ka-familiar sa rivers, okay? Ingon ana ha libugon mo pero naragiday sa inyong atubangan ng answer. Don't focus on the rivers kay ang question man good is rivers. But naa may corresponding nga country. So asa man nga country din ha ang dili Asian country. So it is US. Okay, it's the only. So US. So the answer is letter B. So Mississippi, US. Okay. Bisan pag wa ka familiar kay maski ako di kay ko as in familiar ana nga mga rivers. Okay, but I know US country is not an Asian country. So that's the answer. Okay. So next, number 11. So what continent is US? It is in North America. Okay. 11. The system of writing history. The system of writing invented by Sumerians. Sumerians is?
Sanskrit.
Ha? System of writing of Sumerians. Ginimawa ang Sumerians. So, ang system of writing sa Sumerians.
Uniform.
latest
Same
exam.
ra ni sila sa kuan, ma'am, kaning uniform. Same sa Mesopotamia.
Yes. So, system of writing sa Sumerians, ilang na-invent is ang cuneiform. Very good. So, that is cuneiform. So, Sanskrit is for India. Okay. Hieroglyphics is for Egyptians.
Egypt.
Yes. Cuneiform is for Sumerians and Arabic is for Arabians. Okay, so Don't be confused, ha? So Sanskrit, India, it's a language also of India. Hieroglyphics is for Indians, Egyptians, I mean, sorry. Cuneiform is for Sumerians, and Arabic is for Arabians. Okay, next, still history. Oh, the flight of Muhammad from Mecca to Medina on 662 AD is known as blank. Is it A, Hijra, B, Urdu, C, Medina, or D, Shahada?
Sir A, Jera.
Huh? Sir Kim, what's your answer, sir?
E.
My
Jera.
answer is letter C, Medina.
Medina. Okay. The answer of Ma'am Lloydie, if I'm not mistaken, si Ma'am Lloydie man siguro to. Medina. How about the others? Wise guess.
Letter D, ma'am. Guess ra
Okay, so
po.
the answer is Higuera. Can you see it? Okay, so the answer is Higuera, letter A. So what is Higuera? Higuera, or in other words, I will have it in the chat box, kay, since you cannot see the hyperlink that I have prepared. Pila ko kaadlaw naghimo aning hyperlink nya dili lang makita. Okay, so other term for higera, ha, kay if ever wala ang higera nga term sa choices, so it is this. So this word means migration. Okay, in Arabic language, this one. So it's the other term for higera. So hijra, it means migration. Okay, so the Prophet Muhammad's migration on 662 AD from Mecca to Yathrib, or known right now as Medina, upon invitation in order to escape persecution. So that is called as Hijra or Higera. Okay. Then how about Urdu? What is Urdu? Urdu is an Indo-Aryan language and the national language of Pakistan. Okay, Pakistan is somehow a neighboring country of India. Pakistan. South Asia, I mean. South. Pakistan is somewhere in silingan nilang mga Kazakhstan. North Asia. Okay. So it is an Indo-Aryan language and the national language of Pakistan, and is closely related to and mutually intelligible with Hindi. Though a lot of Urdu vocabulary comes from Persian and Arabic. Yeah, it is in North Asia, ang Pakistan. So yeah, that's it. Urdu is an Indo-Aryan language. Okay, and Shahada is one of the 5 pillars of Islam. If you remember the 5 pillars of Islam, Shahada is one of it. Okay, but don't worry, we will be talking about the 5 pillars of Islam later. Okay, so Shahada is one of the 5 pillars of Islam. Okay, next, history again. So this is considered as the first literary piece in the world. Okay, what do you think is the answer?
A, ma'am. Beowulf.
Huh?
A, Beowulf.
A,
Letter
Beowulf.
A.
How about the others?
I saw.
First, considered as the first literary piece. The answer is letter B, the Epic of Gilgamesh. Okay. All right, so the Epic of Gilgamesh. So what is Beowulf, by the way? So Beowulf is considered as the longest epic poem in Old English. Okay, so mao na iyang gihold na title, ang Beowulf. The longest epic poem in Old English. So, Epic of Gilgamesh is the oldest epic tale in the world. Okay, so it was written 1,500 years before Homer wrote the Iliad. Okay, so Homer is one of the kind of famous authors in the world. So before pa na suwat ni Homer ang Iliad, Epic of Gilgamesh is already there. Okay, so that's why it is considered as the oldest epic tale in the world, ang Epic of Gilgamesh. Dayon ang Ramayana if you're familiar with the Ramayana and Mahabharata, okay, it is an Indian great epic of India, great epic poems of India. Okay, the Ramayana and the Mahabharata. So Ramayana, so Rama is the character, Yana in Sanskrit, or Sanskrit is an in Indian language, it means journey. So Rama's journey. So in Sanskrit or Indian language, it is Ramayana. Okay? So that's it. And ang terracotta is not a literary piece, but it is an if nakabantay mo ka ng mga structures nga made of clay. Okay, that is terracotta. Okay, giluto nga clay. Kay ang terracotta, in other word, is it is a baked earth. Okay, or yeah, baked nga earth, or earth is yuta man na siya, diba? So baked nga clay, ang terracotta. So it is kitchen tools or any tools or objects that are made out of baked clay, that is terracotta. Okay, so next is 14. So history again. So the following are contributions of Sumerian civilization to the world, except sa man din ang dili contribution sa Sumerian. Sa diha. Naragid sa inyo ang atubangan ang answer. Kay inyuhan na ni siyang gi-answer kanina. Pero sa lahi siya nga civilization na belong. Mo nagdili siya contribution sa Sumerian. All the other choices are Sumerian contribution. Aside from this, the answer is wise guess.
Wild guess, ma'am, lunar calendar.
Lunar calendar. Okay, it's one of the kanang famous contribution of Sumerian to the world, ang lunar calendar. They first use it, the lunar calendar.
Letter B, ma'am.
Letter B, yes, very good, Sir Kim. So the answer is letter B, the concept of alphabet. In which civilization gani ni siya ang alphabet? Question number 1, a while ago.
Phoenician, ma'am, alphabet.
Yes, so this belongs to the Phoenician civilization. So mo ni siya nga cranial operation, wheels, the use of wheels, and lunar calendar belongs to the Sumerian civilization, except for the concept of alphabet, because it belongs to the Phoenician group. Okay. So the answer is letter B. Okay, letter B. Phoenicians. Right. So 15. Why did Shi Huangdi history? Shi Huangdi is a famous emperor in China. Why did Shi Huangdi build the Great Walls of China? Is it A, to protect Chinese people from barbarians? B, to keep out invaders from the north? To prevent Chinese emigration to the north? Or to prevent influx of foreign cultures to China? What was the first goal why they built the Great Walls of China? And it's not that long, China, because it encompasses 9 dynasties after Shi Huangdi. Okay, so imagine 9 dynasties, 9 emperors ang niagi, then every dynasty nga niagi is ilahang punan ang Great Wall of China. So mo nang ingon ana na siya kataas karon. So what was the first purpose of Great Walls of China? Wild guess.
To protect Chinese people from barbarians.
Yes, very good. So that's the purpose, or the main purpose, or the primary purpose of building the Great Walls by Shi Huangdi, to protect the Chinese people from barbarians. But today, it is already used for tourism. And again, dili gina siya ingon anak kataas. The plan is not that long. But since it passes from one dynasty to another until 9 dynasties, so mo nang ingon ana na siya kataas karon. So the first purpose of that is to protect Chinese people from barbarians. So katuning mga hilig manako nga mga group of civilizations or group of people. O kanto ni silang murag karon compare din nato sa mga NPA. O mo ni sila. So the answer for 15 is letter A. 16, history. So through the continent of Asia, though the continent of Asia is bigger than Africa, why is it that this is geography. So why it is that Africa is considered as the center of evolution? Though Asia is bigger compared of land area, nganong ang Africa man ang gi-consider as the center of evolution and not Asia. Asia is the cradle of civilization. Africa is the center of evolution. Why? Is it A? It is where the first civilization started. B, rich agricultural products are found here. C, it is where the fossils and artifacts of the first species of man are found. Okay, so what do you think is the answer?
It's letter C. It is where the fossils and artifacts of the first species of man are found.
Yes, very good. Yes, very good, Ma'am Lloydie. So the answer is letter C. So it is where the fossils and artifacts of the first species of man are found. If we call center of evolution, that is evolution of man. Okay, so mostly naagyo dito sa Ethiopia, ang katong mga first nga na-discover nga mga bones, o kato si Lucy, one of the famous Australopithecus mga first species of man sa Africa. Okay, so the answer is letter C. Okay, 17. All species must undergo certain change in order to fit to the condition of the environment lived in. So what principle is referred to? Is it A, an eye for an eye? B, natural selection? C, survival of the fittest? Or D, stairway to heaven? You think is the answer?
C, ma'am.
Huh?
C.
C, survival of the fittest? Any other answer? Let's check. Wala nila yung answer? Okay, the right answer is letter B. Okay, so that theory is entitled as natural selection. Who is the proponent of that theory? Are you familiar with the proponent of the theory? Huh?
Si Charles Darwin, ma'am, natural selection.
Yes. Si Charles Darwin. Ang theory ni Charles Darwin is natural selection theory and not survival of the fittest. Okay, so we will clear this up. What is survival of the fittest, di ay ma'am? So, survival of the fittest is the process, okay, in which the species have undergone during the natural selection. Okay, so an eye for an eye is for the natural selection is for Charles Darwin, and survival of the fittest is the processes of natural selection. Okay, kaya ang natural selection man gyud daw, it states that the species have adapted, okay, have changed to adapt to the environment. Okay, so mao na ang pinaka-gist sa natural selection nga. It's okay. May gani karon kay nakahibaw na ta sa sakto kay ako pun sa una, okay? Ako pun sa una abigin ako ang title sa theory ni Charles Darwin is survival of the fittest. Okay, kay mo may common nato nga madungog, di ba? But the correct name of the theory of Charles Darwin is natural selection. And survival of the fittest is just the process, okay? Kay if kinsa to ang dili ka-adapt, okay? Dili ka-adapt sa changes, so mo to siya ang dili ka survive, o mo nang gitawag siya survival of the fittest. Okay? So diha pud to gigamit ning Charles Darwin ang theory or ang explanation ngano daw taas na og liog ang mga giraffe. Before daw, di daw na sila taas og liog, but as the trees have ang mga bunga sa mga kahoy is nag-anam og kataas mo nang gisigi na daw nila stretch ang ilahang neck to survive, to adapt to the change in the environment. So mao na inana na daw nakataas ang neck nun sa giraffe. Okay, but still it's a theory. Okay, and theory needs evidences to be proved. Okay, so theories are just claims that are yet to be proven. Okay, so Stairway to Heaven is just an additional flower there para nala ikabutang sa letter day. Okay, if you remember, Stairway to Heaven is a Korean kanang teleserye. Nahinomdo mo, Stairway to Heaven. So, puno na siya diha, ha? Okay, so next is, okay. So, in searching, this is still. In searching for the missing link, there are many remains found by the archaeologists believed to be of the first humans. So which group is believed to have knowledge on how to use their hands in making tools? Is it A, Australopithecus, B, Homo erectus, C, Homo habilis, or D, Homo sapiens? Hands. Use of hands. Sa man nga species. Anyone? What species have utilized their hands? Okay, hello, madungog pa ko.
Yes, ma'am. Madungog, ma'am.
Okay. Sige, usa man nga species.
Nanay answer, ma'am. Homo habilis.
Ay, na-answer na dahil, pislet. Okay, so the answer is Homo habilis. Okay, sige, atong tagsa-tagsaon ha. Okay, so Australopithecus are also known as southern apes. Okay, so ang pinakasikat nga southern ape or ang pinakasikat nga Australopithecus in the history is named as Lucy. Okay, so si Lucy, Australopithecus na siya nga species. So next is ang letter B, Homo erectus. Okay, so these are the first species of man nga mi-erect. What do you di ba mo bartog? Oh. So mo na sila ang first batch of human species beef, murag unggoy ang stand. Oh. So upright na sila, first species, human species, upright man or erect mo na gitawag na siya Homo erectus. Dayon Homo habilis, hand. So other term for Homo habilis is handyman. So there are people or human species that have utilized their hands, okay, or that have used their hands. Then next is the Homo sapiens or the wise man, or gibase ni nila manggod sa size sa brain when they discovered the skull of this species. Okay, so mas rational daw ni nga human species out of the others or among the others ang kaning Homo sapiens, and it is one of the most kanang duol nga human species to modern human. Okay, ang Homo sapiens. So Australopithecus, southern ape or Lucy, Homo erectus, erect or barog, upright man, Homo habilis, handyman, and Homo sapiens, wise man. Okay. So that's it. Then 19. History, the first civilization in India started in the river valleys of Indus. Okay, so which group of people are the first to reside there in the river valleys of Indus? Is it A, Hindu, B, Dravidians, C, Aryans, or D, Buddhists? Wild guess? Isa ka ha. Okay, sige. Di na lang kayo nakudugayon ha, kay ang nagdali ato ang oras no, the 19 pa. Okay, so the answer for this is the Dravidians. Okay, the first group of people that have resided in the river valleys of Indus. Okay, so who are these Dravidians people? So Dravidians are the original inhabitants of India, okay, or Indus. So they live in all parts of India until Aryans arrived in the country and pushed Dravidians downwards. So after Aryans conquered the northern and the central part of India, Dravidians have stayed in the southern part of India. But they are considered as the kanang original Indians, okay, or the first. Those are Dravidians. Next is 20. So King Hamurabi of Babylonian was known in Mesopotamia and West Asia. So how is he remembered? So what is the famous contribution of Hammurabi in the world? Okay, or the civilization of Babylonia, so in which he led it. Okay, so what do you think? Is it the spread of religion, the laws, the discovery of system of writing, or he married 4 Muslim princesses? Okay, what do you think? King of Hammurabi is known for his. Usa to ganina? Ako ang gisulti na sa option. Okay, na ay chat.
Letter B.
Letter C. Hindi ko sure. Okay. Sige. Natin ni answer, if I'm not mistaken, if sakto akong paminaw na ni answer letter B. Yes, so the answer is letter B. He gathered the laws. O, mo bitaw nang natay gitawag nga Code of Hammurabi, 'di ba? And usa sa pinakasikat nga code ni Hammurabi is katong ngipin sa ngipin. So that is just one of the kanang gathered laws ni Hammurabi. Okay, and King Hammurabi is very known as kanang stricto o gaan nga kamot nga pagka leader. Okay, so he is very kanang kuan sa iyang mga punishment. Okay, true to his punishment. Okay, and he really punished ang mga mo-violate sa iyang pamalaod. So it is how King Hammurabi is known or was known to the world because of his contribution as he gathered the laws. Okay, and until now nagid gyapon na kung unsay imuhang kanang an eye for an eye and a tooth for a tooth. So lagi na so kung unsay mong gibuhat dapat equal ang punishment. Unsay mong gibuhat nga ning violate sa law dapat equal gidapat ang punishment sa imuha. Okay, ang kasakit inana gyud dapat. So kung kinabuhi ang gikuha, kinabuhi pod ang kuhaon. So number 21. So the Torah is an important foundation of the monotheistic belief of the Hebrew. What do you mean by monotheism? Okay, so if you don't know the Torah, don't worry. Okay, ang question is, what do you mean by monotheism? Okay, so what is monotheism? From the word mono, it means
Letter A.
yes,
One God.
yes,
Letter
one
A.
God. So from the word monotheism, it means belief on one God. Belief on many gods is the opposite of monotheism, that is polytheism or polytheistic. Okay. So next, 22. So Alexander the Great established and spread a civilization which is a mixture of Asian and Greek culture. So the civilization is known as blank. Sakahan. Wild guess. The answer is
Ma'am, Hellenistic.
D. Lydian?
Hellenic, letter B.
letter B. Unsa pa ang other answers? The answer is
Letter A.
term. Okay, that's the right term, Hellenistic. Okay, so Hellenistic, it is when Alexander's crowning to the death of Cleopatra. Okay, so Hellenistic comes from the root word Hellas, okay, Hellas, Hellas, which was the ancient Greek word for Greece. Okay, so ancient Greek word for Greece ang Hellas. It is where the word Hellenistic is derived. Okay. So, the answer is Hellenistic. Okay. 23. So a terrace of plants and flowers was built by Nebuchadnezzar of the Chaldean Empire. So this is referred to, Chaldean Empire is known for this too. If
Hanging
see,
Gardens.
D, ma'am. Hanging
yes,
garden.
very
D, Hanging
good.
Gardens.
Yes, very good. So a terrace of plants and flowers, this is hanging gardens. So this is for the Chaldean Empire or Chaldean Empire. I don't know how to pronounce it correctly. So it is under the leadership of Nebuchadnezzar. This is the hanging gardens. So Great Wall of China, again, kinsa ganito nga emperor sa Great Wall of China, it was, kinsa ganito?
Ang nag-built?
Yeah, the first
Shi
one.
Huangdi.
Yes. Shi Huangdi or Qin Shi Huang. Okay, other name of Shi Huangdi ha is Qin Shi Huang. Don't be confused. It's just the same person. Qin Shi Huang or Shi Huangdi is just the same. Then the Leaning Tower, if nakabantay mo atong Leaning Tower, nga katubi tong tower nga nagbabag, nga mura siya katumbakon. Have you seen that one? Or have you pictured out it in your imagination? Una na, somewhere in Italy, okay? Leaning Tower. Nga mura na siya katumbahon, pero di na siya matumba. Okay? Mao na siya yung architectural design. Then the rice terraces here in the Philippines, kinsa ang nag-initiate ana or ang nagbuhat? We have unsang ethnic group,
The Ifugaos.
kasi nakalimot na ta. Kinsa ang nagbuhat sa Banawi rice terraces?
The Ifugaos.
Usabaya na sa mga
What?
7 wonders, ha? Kinsa? Unsang nga group? Okay, na dire.
Ifugao.
Akong voice. Okay. Yes, very good. Da Ifugaos. Okay. Unstable siguro akong internet. I'm sorry. So the Ifugao people have initiated the Banawi rice terraces. Okay. Then the Hanging Gardens is for Nebuchadnezzar. Okay, next, geography. So Asia is the biggest continent in the world and covers almost 1/3 of the total area. So what is the total land area of Asia? So pack ni siya. So what is the total land area of Asia? Do you know what is the total land area of Asia? Wild guess?
Word A, ma'am. A
B.
or B?
The
Word
answer
A or
is
B?
Wild guess kay B, 44.
B.
okay. Let's check.
B.
Letter B. Very good. 44.
Chamba.
44,391,000 kilometers squared or square kilometer. Okay, so that is letter B. So mga ingon ani nga question no. So expect gid mo nga nagi manggawas nga mga factual nga question nga mag-need siya correct answer. So it's either you know the answer or you don't know the answer. Iampo gini siya sa Ginoo ang mga ingon-ani nga klase nga question kay di gini siya imposible. But since you already know, so dili na ni siya. Dili na mo hadno kaniha if mo gawas ni siya if ever hibaw na ta. So that is 44,391,000 square kilometers. Okay. Next, 25. So history. So Japan joined forces with 2 European countries forming the Axis powers during the World War I against the Allied powers. So what were the 2 European countries sa Allied power? If you're familiar. Okay. 2 forming the Axis. What were the 2 European countries nga nakig-join ang Japan?
Germany and
D.
Russia. Letter D. I don't know.
Okay. Let's check. The answer is Italy and Germany. Okay, so letter B. So those are the two European countries na nakig-join forces ang Japan, and their group or their faction is called Axis, and they are against with the other group, which is the Allied powers. Okay. Next is 26. The aim of Taoism is to have world balance. Taoism is one of the religions in yin and yang, Japan, sakto ba? Or China? Kalimutan noon ko, nalibog po. Okay,
Korea, ma'am.
China, ma'am.
China, okay. So, this is composed of yin and yang. So, yang symbolizes, what is yang? Unsa man ang yang? Di ba kuan na siya kanang siyang circle nga gi-divide of white and black. Oh. So, unsa man ang yang or the dark? That symbolizes
Men.
that symbolizes men. Okay. The yang symbolizes men. Okay. The dark color. Okay. 27. The form of writing by the Chinese. Oh. We know that cuneiform is for, unsa ganito ang cuneiform? Cuneiform is for, unsa tong civilization?
Uniform, Mesopotamia, and
Samaria.
Sumerians.
Yes, cuneiform is for the Sumerians.
Calligraphy, ma'am, and Chinese.
Yes, very good. So letter B is the
Letter B.
answer. Calligraphy is for China. Okay, so calligraphy form of writing has started in China and was first used by the Chinese people. Hieroglyphics is for, unsa ganito ang hieroglyphics?
Egypt, ma'am.
Yes, Egypt or the Egyptians. Very good. And scribbling is just a modern na siya nga way of writing, ang scribbling. Okay, so very good. Ano duman kay mga basic form of writings ni siya sa history, so probably magawas din ni. 28. In the Babylonian Empire, so the confederacy of laws is known as blank. This laws is engraved in a stone of more or less 8 feet in height. Unsa ganito? Babylonian Empire, it was under King Hamurabi. So sa to gibuhat ni Hamurabi, he was known because he gathered the laws and named it as
Code
yes,
of Hamurabi.
yes, very good. And named it as Code of Hamurabi. Okay. Ulayahang gipangan. So, Code of Hamurabi. So, this is a confederation of laws nga iyahang nagather, iyahang gi-compile, gisuwat niya stone nga more or less 8 feet ang height. So, basta sa tao, then gipanganan na niya itong Code of Hamurabi. Okay. 29. What was founded by 6 nations in 1967? So, be particular with the year, ha? For partnership in regional development. Okay, is it SEATO, ASEAN, APEC, or Great Six Nation? We have to cancel out
ASEAN.
letter D or Great Six Nation, ha? Kay Great Six Nation is non-existent. Okay? Wala na siya mag-exist ang Great Six Nation. So it's either A, B, C.
Letter B, ASEAN.
ASEAN.
Yes. Very good. So the answer is ASEAN. So what do you mean by SEATO first? Unsa gani ang meaning sa SEATO? That is
Southeast Asia
Oh,
Treaty Organization.
yes, Southeast Asia Treaty Organization, and it was founded on 1954. So that's why I said be particular with the year. ASEAN is Association of Southeast Asian Nation. So nganong mahibong man mo, if ever mahibong mo nga, nangutana ko ganina if pila ka book members ang ASEAN, And you have said correctly nga it's 11. So the first original members of ASEAN is only 6 countries or 6 nations during the foundation, okay, or the founding of this kanang organization, only 6 countries. And it was founded on August 1967. Okay, until na naghan, until nahimong 11 karon. Then ang APEC, kung sa ganina ang APEC,
Asia Pacific Economic Cooperation.
yes, Asia Pacific Economic Cooperation or APEC. Okay. So, and grade 6 nation is non-existent. Okay, so wala na siya, gi-other na siya din ha para puno og libog-libog sa inyo ha, para siya inyong pilion kay nano man 6 nations man, ya grade 6 nation riyahan gipangan siya kaugalingon. Additional palibog o para mapilian ninyo ang wrong answer. Okay. But the correct answer there is ASEAN. 1967 ASEAN. Seattle 1954. Okay. Next. Okay. 30. The religion Islam is based on the 5 pillars. Okay. So as I have said a while ago, so we have the Shahada, the Salat, the Saum, the Haji, and the 5th one. What is the 5th one?
Ma'am. Nirvana.
Huh?
Imam Zakat.
B. Zakat.
Letter B. Zakat.
Yes, very good. The correct answer is Zakat, letter B. So that is the complete 5 pillars of Islam. Okay, so the 5 pillars of Islam, we have Shahada, which means the profession of faith, Salat, prayer, Zakat, alms, fasting ang Saum, and pilgrimage ang Haji. Mura nig ato ang equivalent ni sa ato ang kanang kanang ito ato ang bunyag, kasal, kumpirma, what we call that one in Christian gani religion? 7 lagi na siya sa Christian religion. Limot ko equivalent na siya sa atoa nga dapat moagi kita ana nga process ang pinaka-last ana is ang katong pilgrimage, which is the Haji. Okay? And nirvana, if you remember, nirvana for Indians, okay, it means the highest or the peak happiness. Okay? So the perfect peace and happiness ang nirvana. Okay.
Ma'am, unsa ganitong kuan, ma'am? Zakat? Zakat?
Oo,
Excuse
natin.
me, ma'am. Oh,
Ay, equivalent siya sa kuan, ma'am. 7 sacraments.
I'm sorry, ang kanang good woman ari na sa sutay ha. I'm sorry, nasa iyo pong butang. Good woman is for sutay. Ang zakat, that is the 5th pillar. Okay? 5th pillar.
Charity.
I'm sorry, nasa iyo pong butang. Zakat is for alms. Okay? Sayop na siya placing. Good woman is for sutay. Ang kanang sutay. Nirvana is the perfect peace and happiness. Seljur is a non-existent word. I don't know anong gi-add na siya din ang Seljur. Okay. So, it's only Nirvana, Zakat, and sutay ang related sa history. Okay. So, Zakat is the 5th pillar or ang needed. There is a blank. Alright. So, 31. And again ha, just to clarify, ang kanang good woman, ari na siya sa sutay. Okay? Sutay is for good woman. Oh. Next. Good woman. Wala din ako ni makuan. Okay.
ma'am, unsa
31.
ganito si Saum, ma'am?
Si
Sorry. Si Saum.
Saum. Si Saum.
Oh,
Fasting.
yes.
Fasting si Saum. Then si Haji or si Hajj kay pilgrimage.
Okay na, ma'am. Thank you.
Okay, sige.
Fasting during
31.
Ramadan.
Yes, fasting during Ramadan. Very good, sir. Okay. 31. As a science of humanity and its society, anthropology seeks to present an integrated picture of blank. This is already social
Letter A, man.
anthropology. Yes.
Anthropology, man.
Yes, man, okay? Man, basic man, letter A, okay? Kay ang anthropology, anthropo means man or human, then logy, study. Okay, so study of man. Anthropology, so 60% an integrated picture of man. Okay. 32. Okay, showing respect by kissing the hands that has changed into kissing the cheek or hugging shows blank culture in society.
Conventional.
Yes,
Ako din.
conventional. So conventional culture is somehow kanang accepted in the society. Okay, so conventional. So conventional na ang pag-kiss sa cheek o pag-hug as a kanang showing respect to someone. Okay, ato po diri kay bless. Oh. So conventional culture in society, that is letter C. 33. Who coined the word sociological imagination to underscore the relationship between what is happening in people's lives and the social forces that surround them? So,
Letter
or in
B,
other
Sir Right
words,
Meals.
who is, yes, yes,
Letter
ma'am.
B.
What's the answer?
Letter B. Sorry.
Yes. Right meals, letter B. Oh, sociological imagination, that is right meals. Okay. Mark Durkheim, that is a combination of Karl Marx and Emily Durkheim. Okay. So, right meals, mo na siyang siya ang nag-coin ang word nga sociological imagination because he have written a book entitled Sociological Imagination. Then Auguste Comte, he is the father of local person here in the Philippines teaching sociology somewhere in UP Diliman. So siguro maunang gi-add siya din as one of the choices. Okay. So that's it. So 34. So among patterns of behavior required in sociology, which is obtained through direct experience, observation, and testing. Is it empiricism, critical spirit, objectivity, or ethical neutrality? Sa kanya.
Observation is empiricism.
Yes. Direct experience or sense experience. Okay, senseful experience or experience through your senses. And observation and testing is for mga empiricist or empiricism. Okay, very good. The answer is empiricism or sense experience and observations. Okay, so critical spirit, it is obsessive of criticism and fault finding. Oh, you are so very critical for other people. Okay, so hilig ka manaway. Or you can easily see their faults. Okay, objectivity, being objective, being free from biases, favoritism. Okay, and that's it. Tayo 35. What major changes creates a trend? Oh, these choices are changes here. But what one of them creates a trend? So what is it? Is
Innovation.
it stagnation, revolution, or involution?
Innovation.
Huh?
Innovation.
Creates a trend. Oh. Mag-create siya og trend, mag-trending siya. Famous.
Innovation, ma'am.
What do you think? The answer is
Letter A.
Innovation.
Innovation.
Yes, innovation. So for example, kanang innovation sa cellphone, 'di ba? O ang innovation man gud mura na siya mahimong basis, okay, or standard sa trend. O for example, kanang ang nausunod pud karon kay kanang flip phones, okay, flip smartphones. So kinsa may nag-una ana? Okay, kinsa may unang nag-innovate ana? So mo siya nahimong basis niya karon other brands have followed that trend already because of that innovation. So innovation creates a trend. Okay. So here, it's a basis of an innovation strategy or a digital strategy ang innovation. Okay. Okay, so 36. Oh, na ang meaning nila. Okay, so who was the Asian senior statesman who removed drugs, who removed drugs, unemployment, and dirt waste in his city-state or in his country, in other words? Is it A, Lee Kuan Yew, B, Rodrigo
Very
Duterte, C, Arsenio Lacson, or D, Jawaharlal Nehru?
B, ma'am.
Letter A,
Rodrigo.
ma'am.
Lee Kuan
Yes.
Kuan Yew.
Yes, very good. It is letter A, si Lee Kuan Yew. Siya ni ang prime minister sa usang country.
South
Southeast
Korea.
Asia. Usang country sa Southeast Asia. Lee Kuan Yew. Mauni siya ang nahimong model ni Rodrigo Duterte. Oh, kanang naagid ang balaod ba? Ano itong grabe gid og authority nga gi-hold. Oh, murag mo ni ang nahimong model. Oh, iha pa gyud ning giplano sa unang under his administration maparihas ang atong country sa country nga gidaan ning Lee Kuan Yew. Okay. Prime Minister of Singapore, and he have made the Singapore to be one of the kanang advanced, most clean, okay, one of the most clean countries in the world. Okay, pinaka-progressive in the Southeast Asian countries. It's because of Lee Kuan Yew. Okay, grabe kay na ang changes ng iyang gibuhat sa Singapore. Kaysa una ang Singapore is just like Taiwan, it's just like a colony of US. So, but when he have seated in the throne and made a lot of changes for the improvement and progress of Singapore. So, maunang murag nahimong model Rodrigo Duterte when our former president have been elected as the president of the Philippines. Okay. Then Arsenio Lacson, he is Manila's first elected and 17th mayor. Okay, so ingon pa nila nga the president we never had, one of the president that we never had. Kay Arsenio Lacson have also maintained a good record in his public service. Okay, so he is very known to be a righteous man. Okay, an honest public servant. Okay. So Jawaharlal Nehru is a principal leader of the Indian nationalist movement. Okay. Next is 37. So among social trends, which is easily passes, for example, fashion. So asa ka din ha, out of those choices, asa din ha ang dali mapasa?
Letter B, fad.
Like fashion.
Huh?
B.
Letter B, fad.
Yes, very good. Letter B, fad. Okay, but what is mores di ay? So mores are moral standards that determine right and wrong. Okay, so mores are moral standards that determine right and wrong. So they are not social standards or folkways. Okay, so if you tend to break mores, you can be legally penalized or sanctioned. Okay, or even worse kay death ang imuhang makuha if you will break mores. Okay, so these are moral standards that determine right and wrong. And change depending on the culture. For example, abortion. Okay, so here in the Philippines, since we are a very conservative country, and we really we really prohibit it is stated in our constitution that unborn children are protected. Okay, once conception has been done. Okay, if naa na gid na din ang bata sa tiyan, So it is really against the law. Oh, so that is Morse. Okay, but in other countries, abortion is legal. Okay, so mo nang giingon nga ang Morse is will really depend on the place, on the culture of the country, on the kind of group, on the kind of society, based on their laws. Okay, because Morse are moral standards that determine right and wrong. Okay, these are not social standards. Fad, on the other hand, which is our answer, it is often seen as sudden or quick spreading or short-lived. Okay, for example, kanang word nga trending. Okay, kay other term for fads is trends. Okay, so just like atong dalgona coffee, plantita during the pandemic, so those are fads. Okay, short-lived, sudden, o kanang nisikat o kadiyot. Okay, so those are fads. And we have laws, so kay bawagin ta laws, kay bawang taon say laws, di ba? So these are the set of rules that are created to regulate the behavior of the people within the jurisdiction of that law. Okay. Then norms is, saan na siya? Are perceived informal and mostly unwritten rules that define acceptable and appropriate actions. So for example, for norms, based on that definition that I have read is kanang these are unwritten rules. So it was just asked, and somehow we have known this as acceptable, and we have known this as the proper way, okay, the proper manner. Okay, just like saying please if you are asking for something, and saying thank you if you have received the favor. Of those are just examples of norms. It is not written, okay, it is not stipulated in the law nga mo say kag please o mo say kag thank you, but those are accepted, okay, universally accepted as rules nga dapat musay gyud kag thank you o mamalihog jud ka mga jud kag please, diba? So those are norms, those are examples of norms. Okay, then next is, so the answer for this is fad. Okay, then 38, so there is a violation of blank in cases of extrajudicial killings. O say, o sa kind of violate din ha if there is EJK.
Due process of law.
Yes.
Due process of law.
Due process of law ang na-violate din ha sa extrajudicial killing. Kay ingon pa nila nga ang suspect will remain suspect until proven guilty. Okay, or ang suspect will remain innocent until proven guilty. So if gipatay na siya din ha, kay lagi suspect siya sa usa ka kaso, so you have already kanang imo na siya gikuhaan sa iyahang right to be or to undergo due process of law. Okay, so EJK violates the due process of law. Okay. 39. Among the fields of anthropology, so please refer here ha sa ubos na din ha ang components, unsa siyang components sa social studies na belong. So among the fields of anthropology which studies the evolution of man and biological diversity within the species.
Letter D, biological anthropology.
Letter D.
Letter D, the answer is yes, the answer is letter D, biological anthropology. So it's already in the question. The answer is already in the question, so don't go far away. So just always go back to the question and give the answer to the question. So it is the biological anthropology. Okay, 40. So change becomes an issue when it creates a blank.
Disagreement.
Disagreement.
Yes.
Disagreement.
Agreement?
The answer is disagreement. Okay,
Agreement.
so issue na siya if dili na siya giagrihan sa tanan. Okay, so this will be followed by discomfort. Okay, but first, change becomes an issue if maka-create siya og disagreement. Okay. 41. Clusters of stable rules known as social blank govern social activities and practices based on similar principles displaying regularity. What do you think? It governs social activities and practices. So asa ka diya sa choices ang mag-govern or mag-initiate of mga social activities and practices based on similar principles displaying regularity.
Letter B, ma'am, norms.
Norms? What is
Letter
norms?
D.
Ani?
Institution.
Written rules.
Values.
Clusters of stable rules known as social blank govern social activities. These are, the answer here is the answer is letter D, social institutions. Okay, so if you remember what are the 5 social institutions in our society, so we have the family, which is one of the most important social institutions out of 5. Okay, the family, the government, the religion, the economy, and the education. Okay, and again, the most important one, the basic social institution is the family. Okay, so without the family, all the other social institutions cannot function. Okay, so that is social institutions. Okay, 42. What marked people empowerment in 1986? So what event in the history have empowered people?
EDSA.
EDSA.
EDSA, ma'am.
Yes, very good. The EDSA revolution. Oh, the EDSA revolution have influenced a lot of kanang people around the world. Oh, mura to siyang himong benchmark. Okay? Sa ubang countries na pwede ra di ay if magkahiusa lang ang tibuok katawhan sa usa ka nasod, they can really overpower someone in the position. Okay, so EDSA revolution. So it empowered people. 43. 44. 44. Okay, so inclusive teaching approaches enable inclusive teaching approaches enable blank learners in the class to take part in learning opportunities.
All.
Letter
All.
A, all.
Inclusive all.
Inclusive all. Okay, so kaning disabled, special, and selected, under na ni siya sa letter A nga choice, which is all. So the best answer is letter A. Inclusive teaching approaches enable all learnings. Okay. All learners, I mean. Okay. 45. Which statement on human rights is correct? Human rights are unlimited. Human right is might. Human right is a moral power, not physical power. Or letter D, all rights are alienable. Okay. Sakaha. Your answer.
Letter
If gigutom na mo ha, you can just eat ha.
C, ma'am.
Letter C, ma'am. Letter C.
The answer is the answer is letter C. That's the best answer. Okay, human right is a moral power and not physical power. Okay, very good. 46. Private sector groups for national advocacies are commonly referred to as blank. Public sector, civil society, cooperatives, or party list representatives. What are their
Letter B,
group
ma'am.
is referred
Party
to?
list,
society.
ma'am. Representatives.
Ha?
Party
Private
list.
sector ha, pero their advocacies is for the national or the common good. Okay. Sa kaha. That is
B. Party list.
party list. Party list representatives are public servants. So these are
Civil society.
civil society. Very good. Civil society. Civil societies are composed of private sectors, businesses, and any other private sector groups that are having or that are made for national advocacies. Okay. 47, which is a violation of the right to choose one's way of life. Which is a violation of the right to choose one's way of life. Is it A, B, C, or D?
Letter C, forced labor.
Forced labor.
Yes, very good. The answer is letter C. That's the best answer. Pwede man mo i-answer si A. Pwede mo i-answer si B. Pwede mo i-answer si D. But forced labor is the general term for those choices. Okay, so si letter A, nasudan na siya sa forced labor. 14-hour work against the regular 8-hour work. O, forced labor na siya, pinugos. Child labor, of course, under na siya sa forced labor. And under compensation is under forced labor. So the best answer there is letter C. 48. Which human rights does libel violate?
Letter B.
Yes. The right one's
One's
honor.
honor.
Letter B. So, what is libel, DI? Libel is a published false statement. Okay, that is damaging to a person's reputation. Oh, to a person's reputation. It damages to a person's dignity and honor and reputation. If dili siya published, okay, published false statement, or sometimes it is a written defamation. O, ang libel. So, nakinana ka, so you are violating the person's right to one's honor. 49. Rights which cannot be renounced or transferred cannot be renounced or transferred because they are necessary for the fulfillment of man's primordial obligations. So what rights, what are these rights? What do we call these rights? Cannot be transferred and renounced.
Letter B. ma'am.
Inalienable, letter B.
Yes, asa man din ha ang naay-prefix nga not ang meaning. So that is letter
Inalienable. B.
B.
Alienable.
Alienable rights. What is alienable rights, by the way? So opposite sa alienable. So if ang inalienable cannot be transferred, so ang alienable can be transferred. It is transferable. Okay? So ang alienable rights cannot be transferred, cannot be taken away from you, or cannot be denied from you. So perfect rights somehow is protected and recognized by the law, and the suit can be instituted in the court against the wrongdoer for the breach of it. For example, kontrata. Okay. Oh, kontrata. So the person, or for example, kanang utang-utang or loan. Oh. So si person A mo oy lender, si person B mo or borrower. So naay perfect right si person A nga mangayo or pangayoon or singlon si person B. Okay, if dili mo tupad or mo i-breach ni person B ang ilang kasabutan, so nag-violate na siya sa law. Or yahan ang gitamakan ang perfect right ni person A. Okay. Okay. Acquired rights, o for example, kanang nakuha nimo nga rights, o for example, kanang naigipamana nga yuta. So ang rights nimo anang yuta is just acquired. Okay, nakuha ra nimo. Alright, so that's acquired rights. 50. So which is an example of an alienable right? Remember what is alienable? Transferable. Ma-transfer.
Right to marry.
Mary, ma'am.
Letter A.
Yes. Yes. A, right to marry. Oh, transferable na siya. As long as dili pa ha. Okay. So letter D is acquired rights na siya. Letter B and C are both inalienable rights. Cannot be transferred, cannot be taken away, and cannot be denied from you. Okay. 51. Okay pa mo diha? Kaya ra? Kaya pa? Padayon
Kaya,
ta ha? Okay na ninyo?
Okay ra kayo, ma'am.
Sige mo, padayon. If giguto mo din ha, mga 80 plus naman eh. So, gamay na lang. At ulo siya tiwason. Kay karon naman to mag-session. Itaw. Kay wa jud koy weekends kay nagmasteral man ko. Mo wa jud koy weekends, weekdays na gyud. So 51. So rights cannot be unduly trampled upon or suppressed without moral guilt because they are blank. Rights cannot be unduly trampled upon or suppressed without moral guilt because they are
Perfect.
Letter B, ma'am.
letter
Letter D.
are
Perfect.
dili ikaw
D.
dili ka ka-suppress a right without feeling guilty because rights are letter D, inviolable.
Violable.
Inviolable.
Ma'am, perfect. Ma'am, perfect.
Ha? Ako ang internet ba may problema. Okay ra kung audio sa inyo ha? Or putol-putol gid siya.
Putol-putol, ma'am.
Okay lang audio, ang video ra may mawawa nimo video.
Sige. Sige lang. Sige
And
lang na akong naong din ha. As long as ako audio. Halag na. Okay. Sige. So, letter D had the answer. So, that's why if imuhang tamakan ang rights sa usa ka tawo, you will really feel guilty after. So, unless wa na jud kay habag, okay? Wa na jud kay guilt. Okay. So, 52. The development of 21st century teaching and learning skills interconnection or a relationship sa answer na naa ang teaching o ang learning. Saka diha. Is it A, B, C, or D?
Letter A.
A.
Wild guess.
Letter A, ma'am. Education for all and literacy.
21st century teaching and learning skills.
D, ma'am. Student outcomes and support system.
The answer is?
D, akong answer.
The answer is letter D. Student outcomes and support system from the teachers. Okay, remember teachers in the 21st century, we are not already the sage in the stage, but we are already the guide on the side, right? So we let the students create, di ba? Mo bitaw na napuno sa revised Bloom's taxonomy ang creation. So there must be a visible product or outcome from the student. However, the teachers must be the facilitator of learning or the guide of the students' process of learning. So, interconnection and teaching and learning under the 21st century. Okay. 53. Okay, research. Basic naman niya kung gipang punit. Okay, so what type of research can be better be ensuring relevance in planning development of communities? Okay. Can be better be ensuring relevance or relevancy in planning development of communities.
Survey.
Plano kag mga development sa community.
Survey.
That is survey.
Letter A.
Letter B, ma'am. Letter B.
Na ay impact sa community. That is letter
Case study.
Case studies.
Need analysis.
So,
Ma'am, di ko
survey is
madungog.
here. Survey.
Madungog na ka, ma'am, princess.
Hoy, ganina ra jud ko
Sa
si tingog ma'am. Madungog na ko, Ma'am Lloyd.
Oh, madungog na. Nganong mura kag naaslangob, uy.
Ambot wala sa ko kahibaw ay. Ganina ra ko sige tingog niya. Ambot dili man ko madungog ni ma'am uy.
Okay, sige.
Ipaduol imuhang
Yes, madungog na ti ka, Ma'am Princess. Okay, sige. So, case study ha, if you want an impact, okay, relevance in planning development in your communities. So, next is 54. What methodology is used for research on political and social issues by pollsters, okay, such as SWS and Polls Asia? Sige na,
Kanina survey.
SWS.
Survey.
They conduct surveys.
Survey.
Conduct surveys. Ang kanang SWS or kanang social weather stations and Polls Asia survey. So they conduct surveys. Sa ha. Wait, kadiyot lang ha. Can we have a 5-minute break? Okay ra ninyo mo inom kong tubig?
Kira ma'am.
yes,
Yes.
ma'am, yes.
Kadiyot.
Milk tea lang na.
Ganina ra day kasig tingog diha, Ma'am Princess.
Hey, as in gyud. Ay na jud ko sig tingog ay okay ba man. Di man kadungog si ma'am sa ako. Uy. Wa gyud ay nadungog.
Ako sa duko ka dungog.
Ambot ang
Base na off nimo imuhang kuan.
wala man.
Sige, 54 kay survey, okay. So, 55. 8 lang. Okay, 55. What aspect of inquiry is not related to ethical conduct and research? What aspect of inquiry is not related?
Limitation of scope.
Limitation ma'am of scope
Are you sure?
or
Limitation of scope is part.
Ay, pwede siya, no, pwede siya.
Or
Dapat na may limitation. If
Pero
may
naabit ang limitation di ay.
Murag-
everything can be included in your research. So, now yun ang limitation of scope.
si ma'am
Letter,
kay
Letter C.
is
Okay. Yeah.
the answer is letter A, security of participants. So it's not your obligation already to provide. Okay, that is somehow to protect, okay, okay. So, but providing security to each one of them is not already your obligation, and it's not related to the ethical conduct in research. So respect of the confidentiality is very important in the ethical conduct. Dapat voluntary ang participation, okay, dili wala gipugos, okay, and there must be limitation of the scope, okay. If may limitation of scope ang inyong research, then bisag kinsa na lang ang imuhang pangutan-on, diba? So that's it. So the answer is letter A. 56. Scientific inquiries include scientific inquiries conducted in social change over a period of time are blank. Sa diha.
trend is
Okay, how about the others? The answer is yes, very good. Over a period of time. That is trend issues. Okay. So social change over a period of time. So muna atong clue no sa trend issues. So trend issues or trend studies. So or trend survey. So researchers conducting trend surveys are interested in how people's inclinations change over time, or is there a progress, stagnant, or decrease? So that is trend survey. What's the trend over a period of time? Cohort studies. Cohort studies is a researcher identifies some category of people that are of interest, and then regularly surveys people who fall into that category. Okay, so the same people do not necessarily participate from year to year, but all participants must meet whatever categorical criteria fulfill the researcher's primary interest. So it means there is a category each year. So unlike the trend na ang iyahang participants are the same, kay naa siya gibantayan nga changes over a period of time, si cohort kay dili siya necessary nga ang katong participants from that year will be the same on the next year, or will be the same on the next few years sa pagkandak sa study. Okay? So ang participants magdepende on the category that he or the researcher needs on that particular study. So that is cohort. Dayon ang panel studies is or panel survey, it is the same people participate in a panel survey each time it is administered. So it is opposite of the trend survey. So as you might imagine, panel studies can be difficult and costly. Okay, so mabalik-balik. Okay, so imagine trying to administer a survey to the same 100 people every year for 5 years. Put ang number exact ha. So kung kinsa a number of this study, kung costly siya ang imong study pag unang tuig pa lang, so expect nga nagamit kag panel survey, so expect it will be the same on the next 4 years. Okay. And case studies, we have a research approach that is used to generate an in-depth, multifaceted understanding of a complex issue in its real-life context. So mao tong case study atong answer ganina, kay it must be relevant to the planning development in your community. So it must have an impact. Okay, so mao tong case study atong answer ganina sa katong first. Okay, so here our answer is trend survey or trend issues. Okay, 57. You should like to research an academic problems met by indigenous peoples, children in your school. Indigenous peoples, children in your school. So which sampling will you use? Unsa man tong nga klase nga sampling if naa kay target?
Purposive, ma'am. Sampling.
Purposive.
Yes, very good. So purposive sampling. Kay ang atong target dere is academic problems met by indigenous people's children. So that's our purpose. That's the target, purposive. Okay, so the answer is purposive sampling. 58. So what is the appropriate research method in a field study on a cultural group? For example, way of life of Badjaus who have settled in Zamboanga province. Way of life of Badjaus. So Badjaus are considered as what group of people in the Philippines? They are considered as ethnic group?
Yes. Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
Water
So,
people.
so the answer
Sir,
is letter
Ma'am.
D.
letter D. Yes, very good. Ethnographic observation. So you will study on a cultural group. For example, the way of life of the Badjaus who have settled in Zamboanga province. So you will be having an ethnographic observation. Okay. 59. you want to examine specific subpopulations. Ay. Balik mo siya. Okay, specific subpopulation, so it's still, wa mo kompleto, I'm sorry, so wa mo kompleto. Let's skip this one. 60. So which of the following can become an issue in qualitative research? Okay, quality, right? Oh. So what do you think will become an issue for qualitative research?
Letter B.
Letter D.
Formulation of research design and data collection techniques. This is not an issue in a qualitative research. It
A.
is part of the
Letter D.
research.
A or C?
A or
C. Halibog.
Letter
or
D.
C.
A.
Book data that are based on facts. That is research. We must based on facts, not opinions. That we inquire, diba? We take surveys. Because we must based on facts. We have review of related literatures because we must based on facts. We must based on previous studies. So D is not an issue in a qualitative research.
C.
It's C. By the book approach, qualitative research is book at there is a qualitative research ang kaning pag-base nimo sa mga previous studies. O mo nang natay gitawag og review of related literature. So mubasa ka, di ba? So the problem or the issue in a qualitative research is ang kaning generality or ang pag-generalize. Okay? Kay sa qualitative research ang usa ka kanang sorry pangalan na ang usa ka conclusion ani nga study sa kani nga particular nga participants or sa kani nga particular nga group of people is not the same if imo siyang i-apply kay somehow studies are local based, di ba? So mo bitaw nang usahay nga if magkandak ka og research mas nindot if ang katong mga research nga nabuhat na nga naay mga recommendations nga ma-apply nimo in your local or ma-contextualize nimo kay qualitative research is not for generalization. It can be contextualized. Okay, so ang issue diri sa qualitative research is ang iyang generality. Okay, so that is letter C. Okay, 61. Which of the following can become an issue in sorry. Qualitative research. Okay, 62. So there is a need to adopt blank sampling for research on academic problems encountered by indigenous children in a school. Adopt what kind of sampling again?
Purposive.
Yes. Gilahi lang siya gilahi lang siya arrange ang question. But the answer is still kay ang atong focus is ang indigenous children, academic problems sa mga indigenous children. That's our purpose. So, purposive sampling. 63. So, which data do anthropologists use in a descriptive inquiry in the cultural life of an ethnic community through data drawn? This is research, this is not social cultural anthropology. So ethnic community through data drawn from myths, stories, songs, and experience gathered through field study. That is?
Qualitative, ma'am.
Qualitative.
Are you sure? Myths, stories, songs, and experiences.
Documentary.
Documentary.
Yes.
Documentary.
Ha?
I'm
sorry. That is documentary, ha? Oh, that is documentary. Okay. From myths, stories, songs, and experiences gathered through field study. So that is documentary. That is not qualitative. Please correct that one if nag-take note mo din, ha? That is documentary. Okay. So the answer is documentary. Cultural life of an ethnic community. Bantay mo anang mga buhaton ni Atom Araulio o ni Cara David. Oh, so that's how they do the research. Oh. 64. To further clarify the subject, what can be done to ensure that it does not overlap with irrelevant matters? Walay overlapping. So, unsa kaha?
Set limitations and delimitations.
Set limitations and
Yes,
delimitations.
very good. So, you must set limitations and delimitations para walay overlapping, especially with some irrelevant matters or concepts. Okay. 65. In order to protect the participants on serious issues like use of drugs, so the researcher can adopt blank of respondents. Okay.
Anonymity.
Anonymity.
Yes, so maon ni ang akong giingon kanina. The anonymity. So you can still protect your participants or your respondents through this, okay? But it's not really your obligation to give them security 24/7, labi nag sensitive ang imuhang research nga gibuhat. Okay. The anonymity. Okay, 66. Which was committed by a researcher who repackaged transformation for vested interest. For example, Amak-ak Tasaday cave dwellers. Okay, so I don't know the example, but the question is which was committed by a researcher who repackaged transformation or for vested interest. Okay, so asa kaha diha?
Hi, Mommy. Did you see my jet?
Deception? Oh, wait. Orita. Deception.
So the answer is deception. Okay,
Receive
pagpangilad. Yes,
Pangilad.
pagpangilad. Okay, vested interest. All right. So that is the third A. Wala na ako ma-move ang kanang red. Okay. 67. PB. So I like to find out if integrity of public officials has been improving. So which study will I conduct? Kung sa ganito, if there is a change over a period of time, that is
Cohort, ma'am. Study. Ano ba ito?
kato ganina?
Trend.
Yes, the answer is trend study. Oh, you want to find out if integrity of public officials has been improving. So you want to see or you want to check if there is a change over a period of time. That is trend study. Okay. Okay, so nana dito. So 68. So what method is being used to have special children become? So this is for teaching approaches in social studies. This is not for research. So what method is being used to have special children become a part of the regular student activities? So I think the answer is in the,
Mainstreaming.
I think the answer is on the screen already.
Mainstreaming.
As mainstreaming. So okay. So mainstreaming in the practice of education. So it means nga inani. So you will engage, okay, mga special children to be part of your regular classes, but during a specific time of period, and it will be based on their skills, not all the time. Okay, so that is what we call mainstreaming. I think that's part of the program inclusive teaching or education for all. So 69. So what can be used to classify observations in terms of attributes? Okay. For example, classify newspapers as pro-administration or pro-opposition.
Spelling, ma'am.
Typology.
Yes, very good. The answer is
Classify newspapers.
typology or the types. Okay, you classify attributes according to their types. We have a pro-administration type and a pro-opposition type. If mingon po kag kanang scaling, so we have katong sa research we have the nominal scaling, the ordinal. The nominal is the number you assign to your kanang variables, okay? We have also ordinal scaling. You order the rank kanang first, second, third. Okay, we have also sa paman nga type of scaling ha. We have interval. Yes, we have interval scaling. So naay interval. Okay? We have also the ratio scaling. Oh, yes, the ratio scaling, which is the highest type of scaling. Okay, for example, basta ratio scaling. So those are the 4 types of scaling. So we have indexing also, kanang common nga makita nato sa mga libraries, that is indexing, okay, and validating, letter D. So for here, 69, the answer is letter C. Okay, 70. So the technique used in selecting large representative sample for social research, example, I'm sorry. Example, election poll ranking is known as
Probability sampling, ma'am.
Yes, the answer is probability sampling. Okay, so this technique is used in selecting large sample, okay, or large group of respondents. So that is probability sampling. Okay. Or random sampling. Okay. So that's another word for probability. All right. So the answer is letter A. 71. Okay. For John Dewey, what is the unifying element of the curriculum? Okay. For John Dewey, what is the unifying element of the curriculum? Wait lang ha. Just wait for me. Read the question.
Course discipline.
Kuan, si answer ninyo ani. Reflective.
Course discipline.
Reflective thinking ako. John Dewey, learning by doing man ni siya.
Yes. Okay. So for John Dewey, what is the unifying element of the curriculum? Unsa kaha?
Reflective thinking.
Yes, reflective thinking. Kay unsa ganin ni si John Dewey?
Learning by doing.
Yes. So John Dewey is a famous proponent of progressivism. Okay, so he insisted that reflective thinking is important, okay, is necessary. So it is a tool to unify all the curricular elements, okay, so in the school. So monang reflective thinking is very important for John Dewey. So next, 73. So given issues of election cheating, psychologists see Philippine politics as intrinsically known to be blank.
Personal.
Letter B,
Personal.
personal.
Yes, personal, di ba? As the recent issue with the katong ambush of the governor of Negros Oriental. If you have heard that one, that's just very recent. That was Governor Digamo.
Yes,
It
ma'am.
was politically kanang yes.
Issues politika.
Yes, ang issue nga nakitaan, and I think it was already announced this today nga the only angle nga or rason nga nung gipatay siya or giambush siya on his own residence is political. Politically motivated ang ambush sa iyahang kaatbang. Hindi na nato i-mention. Okay. So personal. 74, the Duterte administration advances blank in order to strengthen regional autonomy and local governance. Unsa to ang plano ni Duterte unta?
Federalism.
Yes.
Federal.
Mobitaw ni nga uso ang purok system nato. Okay, kay they really wanted to have a charter change to really insist federalism in our country. Okay.
Mas
Until now,
nice sad na, ma'am. Ganahang sa kuan ng federalism.
ang nakapait lang sa federalism ang god. Yes, there are pros and cons of federalism. Naman gina siya. Okay, if you see federalism, ang best example is US, federal man na sila, 'di ba? So, federal democratic country. If you can see, each kanang state is autonomous. Okay, so the taxes that are collected from each state is nara sa ilahan nagtuyok. They will just somehow give portion of that to the national government. So if you will apply that here in the Philippines, luoy man good kay ang ato
Ang mga pobre nga region.
Pobre nga rin.
description or ang ato ang geographical location is dili same sa US nga they are compact in one
Landlock. Landlock.
buwag man ta, di ba? And each
Archipelago.
provinces is lahi-lahi og economic status. If ever mag-federal ta, so dili man same ang kanang standing sa each provinces. So luoy ang katong mga provinces nga dili pa kayo ingon ana ka progressive. But Cebu alone mo bitaw nang insist ning Gov-Gwen nga mo stand alone na ta kay kaya naman nato without the national government. Kay usa sa pinaka-highest nga kanang collected taxes gani sa Philippines is the Cebu Island, the Cebu Province, the Cebu City. Kung muna iya ginang gina-insist, but how about the provinces nga luoy, di ba? Katong mga still on the kanang wala pay kanang dako nga progress sa ilahang economy. Kay mag-idja naman ta kanang sa buhol. Inana nga kanang mindset. So, yeah, but somehow naging pros and cons labi na sa Cebu advantage kinato ang federalism kay mas mulambo gid ta kay mas ang ato ang mga taxes nga makolekt dere is mapundo man gyud maatua ra man gyud masolo nato. But to think of the other province Philippines kay naka-progressive di para sa Cebu, so yeah. So mo na nga naay pros and cons. So mo na dapat studihan ug maayo sa ato ang mga legislator. Okay. Timbang-timbangon gyud na siya ug tarong. Okay. Sige. So next is federalism. Okay, 75. So a broadly encompassing change in blank is involved by combating climate change through lesser use of electricity, air conditioning, and garbage burning. So what do you call that one? Is it lifestyle, attitude, sentiment, or feeling?
Attitude.
We will combat climate change through lesser use of electricity,
Letter A,
lesser
lifestyle.
use of air conditioning, and no
Lifestyle.
garbage burning. Yes, that is lifestyle.
Okay, ma'am.
Okay, so
Lifestyle.
the lifestyle. So, lifestyle na siya. Hindi paggamit og aircon, oh, that's lifestyle. Okay. So, ang pag-burn is lifestyle. Pag-burn ng garbage. Okay. 76. What are the studies conducted on social change over a period of time? Balik na. Okay. Ang sa ganit ni, this is
Trend.
yes,
Trend
trend studies. Honestly, no, during my time, daghan king nanggawas nga ingon ani nya mo gitoy nakapait sa ako kay wa ko kay bawman nga naday research or social studies kay di pa to uso ang mo check og TOS during my time. So nagnanga siya ko ani unsa ni ang cohort, unsa ni ang panel, ang familiar gid nako no, ang case studies. Unsa ni ang trend studies. So Ujo kay bawang included ay ang research sa ato ang kanang coverage, di ba? So mo nang ako gid siyang mas siya balik-balikon katong longitudinal study so dapat ma-familiarize gid to ninyo. So this is trend studies if there is a social change over a period of time. Okay. So next is okay, what is a deliberate deception used by advertisers when they say join the thousands who have chosen to switch to the better network? Oh, what fallacy is that?
Bandwagon.
Yes, that is bandwagon.
Bandwagon.
Okay, kanang generalizing, diba? So join na daw. Ikaw rin magpalahi. Oh, inana. Okay, so next is okay. Okay, so bandwagon, ako'y hatag ha. So bandwagon effect is the tendency for people to adopt certain behaviors, styles, or attitudes simply because others are doing so. So join the flow or kung unsay trend. Oh, so that is bandwagon effect. Okay. Sunod sa uso. Oh,
Go with the flow din siya.
yes. Join the thousands who have chosen to switch to the better network. Oh, kanang sunod sa uso. Bandwagon. Okay. So 80. So which is referred as the cost variable. So we are talking about variables. The cost variable.
Independent variable.
The
Independent, ma'am.
yes, so the independent variable, or it can stand alone because it is the cost. Okay, so independent variable is also known as cost variable. How about the dependent variable? So opposite, it is the effect variable, and it always depends on the independent variable. Okay, it cannot stand alone. Ang dependent variable. Ang moderator variable, or from the word moderator, okay, so it moderates. Okay, so here a variable that affects the direction and strength of the relationship between an independent variable and a dependent variable. So moderator, somehow if di siya mabantayan, so it can somehow change the direction of your study. Okay, ang two important variables pa ya is ang kaning dependent ug ang independent. Okay, the extraneous variable is okay. So it has the potential to affect the outcome of a research study. Okay, so wa gid unta siya kalabutan from the word extraneous. Okay, a variable that is not related with your study, but if you will not investigate it, it will somehow will have a potential to affect the outcome of your research study. So that is extraneous variable. Okay. So next is, so the cost variable, the independent, the effect is the dependent. Okay, 81. So what is the part of instruction which considers differences in interests, abilities, and needs of learning? So what is the part of instruction? Asa kaha diha?
Adaptive.
Okay, yes, from the word
Adaptive.
Yes, you adopt, okay? You adapt to the individual differences of your students. Okay. So remedial, from the word remedial or remedy, okay. So it is an intervention program. Okay, so it has a specific target that you want to remedy, okay? That you want to put your remedy, so from the word remedial, diba? So experimental instruction is important part of teaching work in institutions of higher learning. So it is the main route to cultivate the ability of analyzing and solving problem and the spirit of innovation. From the word experimental, okay, you are igniting the creativity of your kanang students through experiments. Then experiential, so experience, okay, considered to be a progressive method of instruction that affords students an opportunity to generate a deeper understanding of lecture topics by working hands-on, okay, from the word experiential, experience. Okay, so that's it. Dayon, 82. An economic principle which considers the number of gold and silver that the country possesses as the basis of wealth and power. Nauso ni siya during the medieval age, before Renaissance
Capitalism, ma'am.
period. Ha?
Market.
It was
Mercantilism.
yes, mercantilism. Very good. Mercantilism was somehow discovered in Europe after feudalism. Kay ang katong feudalismo or feudalism, ang basis sa wealth nila is if makatag-iya kag hektaryang yuta, properties, di ba? O mao man toy basis sa wealth. Ari sa mercantilism, the number of gold and silver, or diri nag-start ang use of currency or money. Okay, sa mercantilism. How about socialism? Socialism is a social and economic doctrine that calls for public rather than private ownership or control of property. Okay, so socialism is for public. So the ownership of the natural resources within the country is for the public use, and there is no owned privately. Oh, so mo na ang socialism. Ang communism, okay, ang communism is a type of government as well as economic system. So unsa may naa sa communism or naa sa communist system. So individual people do not own land, factories, or machinery. So instead, the government or the whole community owns this thing. So everyone is supposed to share the wealth that they create. So that is communism for everyone. Okay. Dayon, capitalism, okay, is an economic system characterized by private or corporate ownership of capital goods. So mo nang mix ta diri sa toang country. Natay capitalism and socialism or mixed economic style or communism. So we have private and publicly owned properties. Okay. Dayon, 83. Kalimutan ko kung pila ni ko to. Okay, 83. So the Philippine currency and its stability is projected and supervised by blank. B.
B, ma'am.
Bangko
B.
Sentral ng Pilipinas.
Pilipinas.
Yes, BSP, dili Boy Scout of the Philippines ha. So Bangko Sentral ng Pilipinas, the BSP. So mao gyud na ang nag-project o nag-supervise sa toang currency, sa toang Philippine peso. Okay. 84. Which is the fourth largest island in the country, often visited by typhoons and with a very rugged interior. Oh, bisan pag wa mo kahibaw ha kay almost baya nga part sa atong country labi na sa naa diri sa eastern kani nagatubang sa Pacific Ocean are mostly visited by typhoons and very rugged interior. Pero focus on this fact diri nga fourth largest island in the country. Unsa may fourth largest island in the country?
Leyte.
The answer is
Negros.
yes, mauni akong nabantayan. Some of the reviewers have answered Leyte. But based on the facts, okay, presented on the land areas in the Philippines, the fourth largest island, ang nakafocus manggod nga question manggod sa uban, maunang Leyte lang gi-answer is kani, often visited by typhoons and with a very rugged interior. But halos manggod tanang provinces nga nag-atubang sa Pacific Ocean have this characteristic. Okay? Bisitahon og typhoons and with a very rugged interior, ari ta mo focus sa naagi specific answer unsa man ang fourth largest island sa country. Kay wa may laing answer ana. Okay, but here on this part of the question na may pwede mahimong laing answer ani. That is why Leyte ang answer sa ubang reviewers. So ari ta mo focus, what is the fourth largest island in the country? That is Negros. Okay, so don't be confused with the answers kay nagi ubang reviewers as I have checked online and answer gid sila og Leyte. Kay I know nakuan sila sa question manggod kay diri sila nag-focus sa ikaduha. Often visited by typhoons and then with a very rugged interior. Samar and Leyte. Mo ginay kusog kayo mag-landslide, di ba? Basta ting ulan. So mo nang Leyte ang answer sa uban. But based on the facts, depends on the land area. We have number 1, which is Luzon, the biggest island. Number 2, we have Mindanao. Number 3, we have Samar. And number 4, fourth largest island in the Philippines is Negros. Okay? Klaro na ha, di mo malibog anak. Okay. Klaro rin gina siya. Okay. 85 na pag yun. How has the fragmented nature of topography of the Philippines affected the nation's progress? The fragmented nature of topography of the Philippines affected the nation's progress. Unsa ang rason? Topographical location sa Philippines, fragmented, bulag-bulag, di ba? Oh, grabe kay scattered. Oh, we are somehow divided by waters gyud mo nang archipelagic ang Philippines. So how this affect the nation's progress?
Letter C.
Huh?
C,
Letter?
C.
Yes, letter C. So, moto akong giingon ganina nga the cons one of the kanang disadvantage of federalism is the state of economic progress across the regions of the Philippines is varied. Okay, lain-lain. So, one province or one region is somehow highly progressive, but there are really regions nga naawahi gyud sa progress. So mo nang timbang-timbangon gyud dapat if we really want to apply the federalism type of government here in our country because of this. Okay, so because the state economic progress differs across regions. And yes, so okay, hapit naman na yung 30, no? So believe and you will receive. So thank you everyone. Okay, so I will now stop sharing. So that's it. So any questions? Okay.